Hi, how are y'all doing? I didn't have a great day today, but and here's what I was doing. I was working on the website at the same time, which is like it's done now. It's literally done, and I just need to get more content on there. Um, but I was working on the site while I was trading, and then after I took that second loss, I was like, okay, I shouldn't be multitasking. So I ended up just stopping trading after that second loss, and then I just worked on the site until it was done. I mean, so it was already basically functional yesterday, but so now I got um, like all the pictures done to make it look good, and I got all the colors done. Like nothing blends into the background anymore. It all looks so good. And now I just need to put more content on there before I release it because there's not enough stuff on there. So I'm basically going to be spending the whole weekend making as many videos as I can for the site, and yeah, so it's basically done. But yeah, I was kind of distracted. I was dealing with the site while I was trading, and I'm not trying to say that that's why I took these losses, but I mean it probably is. I mean, I just wasn't paying attention. I was multitasking because usually how I trade is I'll for the first hour of trading I have to do mindfulness practice, so that's just like focusing on nothing but the chart. But then after an hour, I usually put on a documentary in the background. I don't watch it; I only listen to it, and it's usually just like World War II stuff or whatever, spies, whatever. But I just listen to it and I don't watch it because otherwise it's like, because I usually trade till 2, which I didn't trade till 2 today. It's 1:30 right now, but I haven't been trading. After this, I stopped trading, got everything done with the site, and then yeah, so that's how it was today. And I just want to go over these losses before I do the whole review, because yeah, these losses are just bad trades. They're just stupid looking trades. So here's what I see here. First, let me draw these two bigger measured legs up. Look, that's literally to the tick right there, almost, at least, like within one tick. So basically, we had come off the overnight lows. We had two measured legs up. Then we attempted to reverse. Then we rushed back above the EMA, and then we ended up closing back below. And so you can kind of see the two legs down that I was entering on. But that's not even big picture. That's just short picture. I mean, this short-term uptrend here had a break. Had an overshoot, which led to a break, and then it closed below the EMA. And that's with this uptrend already playing out with two legs up. Because even if you want, because like you can try to draw it bigger, and then it has an overshoot, and then you can actually still expect a new high. But how I'm seeing it, because usually in a range you want to draw the smaller stuff anyway, not like completely short term, but like usually you're not supposed to draw super wide channels in the range. And clearly you have two measured legs up. Price attempts to reverse. You have a couple legs down, but really you can kind of see this as one leg down because you can see that these legs consist of two legs each. So like you have this first leg where then it has resistance, and then the second leg and the break, and then you have first leg up and then a break and a second leg up. So really this is just one leg down right here. And so you can get another leg down, and you're bouncing early, so that's a sign of more bears coming in. And then my entry wasn't even a perfect long. It was just an uptrend break, expecting a new high. I don't want to, you can see the second entry, but it's like I would want to have a break and then a clear first attempt higher, and then I would want to enter on the clear second attempt higher. This is just a break and then one bar higher. Just with one bar it ticks higher, and then I was just entering on that second. So I was basically entering on the second attempt to make a new high. But I kind of got suckered into the short-term stuff today. Usually, I always trade the big picture. But I kind of just, because when I was focusing on the site, I kind of wasn't paying attention. I was kind of looking at the small picture stuff a little bit too much. And then that's kind of what I traded off of. But then I was still going for the big picture targets. So, I think that's probably a good scalp trade right there. And I think it would have made 1-to-1. Let me check. Yes, it would have. But I don't even think it's good for 1-to-1. And then also it looks like it's in this range, which I didn't even consider. It's not that awful, but you can clearly see it's there. It's not a good entry. And then one thing I do want to point out, so just like I was saying about how it has the break and then that first tiny leg higher, and then I was trying to enter on the second leg, this is the first leg higher. You have this uptrend, break, and then the first leg higher right here. And then that's because that's a clear leg. That's just a bar. I mean, because I have to take the big picture stuff, and so that's the first leg, and then you get the second leg from there, which there's obviously no entry to go long, but I kind of just got suckered into the short-term stuff. But anyway, anyway, so that's that trade, and then I did get this trade right here. So I was going for the same target, so I basically just made up for the loss and then double. And this is a much better looking trade. I didn't have that channel at the time, so we had this downtrend, break, new low, and so since the break and new low is technically part of the same move, especially if you look at it on a bigger picture, that's just one leg down, and then you can definitely expect a second leg down, especially because if you measure this leg and then you measure where this breakout of this range was, it actually measures all the way down to this previous breakout of the overnight low, and that really does mean something. And so I got that. I drew it as soon as I got this breakout, and then I ended up having to wait a few bars for an entry because I didn't want to enter right on the break of that short-term uptrend. So I waited on an attempt higher, and then that's actually that ends up doing that. So the measured leg just goes straight down to the previous breakout, and that really does mean something. It really tells you something there. So if you get a measured leg down, or if you have a possible measured move down to a previous resistance area, then I'm just saying, like, these measured moves, they do mean something. They do work. You can look at them consistently, just like here. But anyway, so basically I was just seeing this range, which I had it here at first, but I raised it there. I figured it'd be probably fine to raise it there, but and even if I didn't, you'd still just get the breakout. But you'd still get that breakout. But I played it like it was there, and then we had uptrend, break. I did not want to enter on the first break because even though you have these two legs, this leg is so much bigger than this first leg here that there's no way that I'm going to consider that two legs up. I just see one leg up, and then a break, and then a first attempt to make a new high, and then since we are turning down in this overnight range early, and we have one big leg down, I already drew the possible second measured leg. I was really thinking we could get it, which we turn out to get it to the tick. But the uptrend, break, attempt higher, fading a range. It's been chopping through the EMA for quite a bit now. It's with the bias, it's with the bearish imbalance, so it looks pretty good to me. It ended up kind of screwing around with me at the end. It tapped my order, then it took a couple minutes, and then finally filled me. But then I got into this dumb trade. So I ended up, here's the thing, I didn't draw this downtrend because I just saw, here's what I saw. I didn't mean to delete it there, but so we bounced at the overnight lows. We just barely broke out and faded back in. So we could have still got this measured move, but that's not even why this entry is bad, this long. I kind of tricked myself by drawing this channel. Really, I should have just been... Let me just go over the setup. We have this uptrend off the lows, and then clearly you start getting resistance here, and whether you draw it here or extend it up to here, you get an obvious overshoot, and overshoots lead to a break. So basically, this long right here, it's not that based on that red bar. I waited for this green bar to close and then trigger, and then I got in with a limit order, one tick above the red bar. And it's a second entry. It's just a one leg down, then a break, and then a tiny leg down. It was off this key entry point, but I should have been expecting a break because of the overshoot, the bearish imbalance, and the fact that we could still get this measured leg down. This doesn't even look like a trade I would normally take. It really just looks like an awful looking trade. But I was truly just distracted today with the site, but it doesn't matter. I'm break even, I'm technically up half a point actually. But that's break even to me. So just a distracted day. I mean, I definitely learned a lesson today. I shouldn't be trying to multitask. I should have just put off the site till later, but I keep getting impatient with it because I just want to get it done. And so I was working on it while trading, and then it ended up kind of screwing me. But there's some other good trades I marked. Really, after this loss, I stopped. It seems like nothing really happened after that. It kind of just was slow. I looked through it. I didn't see any genuine good-looking entries that I think follow exactly how I trade. But I just really didn't see anything that great. I mean, one thing you could maybe argue for is this, but it's like, say you draw that, you do get the close out, you get 2 legs up, it looks measured. Let me try to see if that's measured. It's literally measured to the exact tick, and then you get that close out of this short-term trend, because obviously you do have to do, oh, whoops, what did I do? All right, obviously you have to do a tiny cut right there, but I mean, that's just so sharp up. It's not like you're going to draw it off of that swing right there. That doesn't make any sense. Or that bar, I mean. So you just draw it with the trend. I think that actually does look pretty decent now that I'm looking at it. But, because yeah, and then you also have these 2 bigger legs up. Like, this leg, and then uptrend break, new high. That's first measured leg. Then the break, and I can expect possible second measured leg. And we don't quite reach it, but you do reach this shorter one. I mean, it's technically a breakout of this range right here, but that's a very significant breakout, so I would be kind of worried of it just succeeding. But you have 2 legs up on a big picture and the smaller picture. You're with the clear bearish bias, the bearish imbalance in this range. It's clearly not reaching these highs. Lower highs every time, so that actually doesn't look that bad. That actually looks pretty good to me. So I think I'm going to mark that as a good-looking trade. I just got to mark that blue, and let me just draw it for the visual. All right, so yeah, that actually looks pretty decent, and then you also have room down to the overnight lows again, so that really looks pretty good to me. Anyway, there's a couple other things. I started trading around this time. I think I started trading right after this happened, but for this trade right here, what I'm thinking is, so we have the overnight highs, the overnight lows, and now you have 2 legs up. There. Now, if I copy this over, it does go past the measured move, and I wanted to draw them like that because clearly this leg here is way more spiking up than this one, but clearly you have a push higher here. This is all 1 leg here. You get a 2-legged correction and then a second leg higher, and then you get a breakout of this range right here, which you can definitely have gotten off of these lows and then moved it up to the high. And then you get first entry long, second entry long failure, and so you'd really have to enter on the engulfing bar on this. The context is really good. I can't say if I would have taken it if I was there in time because a lot of times I get scared out of engulfing bars, not even for any particular reason, just because it's just some weird psychological thing with me. I just, engulfing bars kind of scare me sometimes, but the context looks pretty good. And then this trade right here, this is based off of this red bar right here. So at this point, you have faded down into the range. You have this downtrend, break, first attempt lower, and then basically you'd be entering on the second attempt to make a new low and just try to get it down to this range. And you wouldn't be able to go for 1 to 2 on this because you would need to get room. You'd need room out. I mean, you would need room to get out before these lows. So if you enter with a stop on that red bar, you can just get out at the end. I would probably want to have a limit order 1 tick back. I didn't enter on this. I did see it in real time, but I was kind of distracted, and I was like, it looks kind of choppy, and then I just didn't take it. But really, you can clearly see what's going on there. And if there's congestion, like you can trade congestion as long as you see what's going on. As long as it's not like completely forming an entire range, which I mean that's not enough to really consider. Like I'm not going to look at that and think, oh, it's breaking out, it might fade back in. You know what I mean? Like that's just a congestion. That's not really anything. But I marked this area because, and then this is a good opportunity to talk about one thing I want to talk about. So here you can see the uptrend. If you draw it off that, you have a break, new high, but clearly like that is such a tiny break and it looks like it's up along the move. So you might as well just try to draw it like that. And then I don't think this is a good entry. I'd be scared of entering into this Now, if you draw it off the first two swings, you get a break and a new high, but it's like, that just really looks like it's in the same move. This looks like one leg up here, so I would still be scared of entering on that. It's not an entry I would take, I don't think. I mean, I can't say for sure because I, wasn't really watching the chart very easily, but, considering it just looks like one leg up and then it's still inside of this short-term trend line here, I don't think that's a very good looking entry. And I don't know if it engulfed. I don't know if it ticked higher or lower first, but if it engulfed, then that would have been a little better, but it's like still into that, and I don't think it looks that great. But, or I don't think it looks good at all, really, to go for a 1 to 2 target or anything, so. Anyway, now you got 2 legs down here here we go, so there, and then, so look at this. So you have this downtrend right here, break, new low, and since the break in the new low is part of the same move, it's still technically part of the same trend. You draw that for the whole thing, so this first measured leg down is the whole trend, break, and the new low, and then here you get this downtrend, break, new low, all in the same measured move before it attempts to reverse higher again. So, these measured moves, for a while, like even while I was doing really good, I had kind of neglected measured moves. Like in a lot of my older videos, you won't even see me talking about them. It's more just like the last few weeks I've been using them a lot more. Measured moves is just one of those things I would kind of forget about a lot, but I've been using them a whole lot more lately. So you got that, and then you attempt to go higher after that measured move, but it doesn't last. It does rush above the EMA, hold for 1 bar, but then it goes back below, and I don't see any good shorts here. And then you attempt to go higher again after you get this breakout of the overnight low. You go into this congestion at the lows, and then you finally break. There's really no trades in there that I see are good. I mean, I'm not going to want to take let me just get that out of the way, and then so now you have this uptrend. You have a break, new high right there technically, but that kind of just looks like one leg up. And so you'd see uptrend, break, new high. You could definitely get the range at that point, but that doesn't look like a good entry. The EMA is still pointing straight up. It looks like it's kind of holding off of it, and then I just don't see a good looking short there. But anyway, so then we push out. Now we have these 2 legs up here, which I kind of talked about that earlier, how these 2 larger legs up consist of 2 legs up in both of them. But anyway, I guess I went through a bunch of this. I don't want to go over a bunch of stuff again. Let's see, how long is this video? 17 minutes or 18 minutes. I might just do it for the video. I think I basically went over everything. It was kind of out of order today, but I think I got everything. I went over all my trades. I went over these other trades I thought looked good, stuff in between. So anyway, I hope this review helps y'all, and yeah, I hope y'all had a better day than me. I just had a break-even day, but yeah, really, make sure you're not like multitasking while you're trading, because that can really mess you up. But and I'm not trying to make excuses. Maybe I would have had this day anyway, but I really feel like it's because I never multitask while I'm trading, and then the one day I do it, I end up not doing so well. But anyway, I guess I didn't go over this stuff. Whatever. I'm just gonna end the video here. I went through plenty. So yeah, the site's going really well. I'm just gonna get more content on there, and yeah, it should be released like within a couple days. So I hope y'all are excited for that. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the video, and y'all have a good day. See y'all in the next video.